Hi, I'm Linda Deir. Welcome to Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, a weekly gift of guidance from my spirit guides on navigating the uncertain world that you are now living in, published every Tuesday since 2014. In this episode, the guides will be talking about stop letting this life scare you. So, Ray, what scares you about this life?
I would think pretty high on the list is running out of time to do what I came here to do,
And what would that be?
change the world.
Of course, we're the baby boomers. That's what we came here to do. And then we got distracted along the way, right? So, what caused you to get scared? Well, the first thing that comes up is when you have a kid. That's when you realize, oh my God, this is the ultimate responsibility. And off you go. Okay. So then from then on, you've got to have a job. You need to make money. You need to make more money and more money and more, it just goes on and on and on. Anything that threatens that scares you because now you have your family at risk. All right. All of this starts when you first came here. This is where it's born from. This is where it started. Every fear about what scares you about this life, from then on, it just resurfaces itself from when you got scared in the beginning of your life, what scared you then to make you comply and to make you follow the rules and to get everyone's approval. And you wanted to be liked and all that kind of stuff. That's all bound into the compromises that you made that seemed so natural and normal. No compromise is natural and normal. It's not. So that's when you had something to lose. You started getting scared. If you don't do this, you won't get that. If you don't do this or that, or if you do this, that'll happen. Okay, so you started walking lightly and you started conserving yourself. Unlike the little baby, the new you who came into this life, who was fiercely curious and wanted to experiment with every single thing, had no concept of being scared or in fear, didn't understand that at all, because it doesn't come from fear and it doesn't come from being scared. That baby came from love. So when it came into this world, it was a rude awakening that there was all this fear and all these, consequences. If you don't do this, that's going to happen to you. And if you don't do that, no one's going to love you and, and all that. All right. Or if you do that, you're going to ruin everything. Okay. Because of course the baby is more responsible, feels more responsibility than any adult ever could imagine. All right. Adults figure out ways to say things like, well, that wasn't my fault. And it's always the young ones who pick up the blame. All right. So this whole thing about being scared, here's an example. A lot of people have gone bankrupt. A lot of people. And there's always that shame that they cast on someone who went bankrupt. Okay. That makes a person scared to live their life, because what if I fail again? Fail. It's not about any of that. You never fail. It may not turn out the way you wanted it to. You have more information now because of that situation, that event, that bankruptcy. Okay. You've got more information. The likeliness of you being successful the next time is much greater. You've got more experience. So quit taking it personally. How do you get scared in this life? It starts when you take it, the baby took it personally. Oh, I want everyone to like me. Well, that's a compromise. You don't think about it as a compromise, but that's where it started. So wherever you feel scared about living your life fully now, that started when you were really a new person, okay? And you made these decisions, flash decisions that came from fear. It's been your source of decision making ever since. That's not a good base to build your life on, one that makes a difference, one that you came here to live, like what Ray was saying. He came here to make the world a better place. You can't do that if you're scared to live your life. So you guys need to get real about this thing about fear and how you're scared to live your life. And if you move this way, they might do something to you, and you might fail. There's no such thing as fail. It is about experiencing something that you learned from, and you may or may not have succeeded at that particular thing. Maybe it's not your cup of tea. But don't be so hard on yourself and take it personally and keep yourself frozen in a time capsule of fear and being scared. No, if you do that, you're going to wind up living a life of regret. And that's the worst way to move on from this lifetime, is to leave with regret, you guys. Mistakes, okay. Those are failed experiments. Put it in perspective. If the world has cast this shame on you because you made a mistake, or you failed at that business, not failed, you learned from that experience. I'm going to translate it into what it really is. Learn from that experience so that you know more going forward. You've got more information to succeed. Okay? So you've got to pass those early tests that test your character. And then you won't be so scared to live your life. After all, that's why you came here. Why would you be scared to live your life? Okay? All right. So we're going to have the guides close this session about stop letting this life scare you. Here they go.
Here is a pattern that you need to break. That is, listening to things that confuse you. Is it true what you heard? Or is it not true? Not very believable? Where did it come from? The government, an authority figure? Take a look at, if it's true, who benefits from it. If it's true, who suffers from it. If you were in control, what would you do or say? You are in control of your free will. You can go any way you want to. However, you must remember there are consequences either way you choose to go.
And that is what scares you. The consequences. That's what scares you. If I do this, and what if I, what if I don't, it doesn't work out? That's a consequence that could happen. What if it does work out? Okay. What if it works out and it's not, you find out it's not what you want to do, and now it worked and you don't want to do it? Okay. You don't know until you experiment, you guys. That's what this is all about. Quit being afraid of the consequences. Don't be afraid. Do your research, be responsible, with as much as you know about it, with as much as you think you want to do that. You can always, what's the what ifs? I can always sell it if I don't like it, if I don't want to do it anymore. I could always bring somebody else in to run the business, or bring a partner in, or what, there's all kinds of things that you can't even imagine before you try something new, experience something new. But don't let life scare you and ruin your life. That's what that's about. And being an entrepreneur right now, that's the big thing. People want to run their own life. They want to be in control of their destiny. So get ready for the consequences. Don't quit taking all this so seriously and personally. All right. And if somebody has judgment around you, you're the one doing it. They're the one watching on the sidelines, doing nothing with their life. Okay. So don't worry about what people think about you. You've got to do what feels right to you. Okay, you have help. You are never alone and always being guided.